Hi everyone, we are starting with first element of directing, that is supervision, and this is the major video which we are going to talk about, that what does a supervisor do and what exactly do we mean by supervision. So who's a supervisor and what is supervision? Supervision means super is divided into two. One is super divided into two like here, and it is over and above. Vision means to see. That means it refers to monitor. Now you're monitoring somebody, you're checking somebody. Who is doing that? Somebody who is just in constant contact with the workforce. So it refers to monitor the progress of subordinates and guiding the subordinate to work accordingly. Like when we talk about controlling somebody, monitoring or checking somebody, who does that monitoring or checking? That is done by the supervisor. So in case if you have planned schedule, what those planned schedules are given to you, and then you have your actual performance and that comparison is done. Somebody is required to control you, to check you so that you don't deviate from your path. That checking or that control or that monitoring is done by none other than the supervisor. Now, who does supervision? Supervision is done by supervisor. So our supervisor does this supervision, and what level does he operate? He operates at the lower level. If you remember your first chapter, we call them operatives, we call them first line managers. Also I will write out here, we call them first line managers. First line managers, we call them so as because they are the people who are working at the lower level. So when we talk about the functions of supervisor, the functions of supervisor are deleted, like importance of supervision and functions of supervisor were same. Now they are deleted, what they were given in the book. We have to refer to the functions of for functions of supervisor, lower level, operative level functions from chapter 1. Chapter 1, when you talk about hierarchy of management, when you talk about top, middle and lower level, those lower level functions you have to learn for functions of a supervisor. I've made a kind of acronym out here, and this is given in that video. In case if you've forgotten, just a small recap. M as in minimum wastage of work, I as in interacting with the actual workforce, S for the safety standards, I as in instruction, and Q as in quality of standards or quality of workmanship when you talk about the lower level. After that, there is a question out here which has to be learned. The question is, the term supervision can be understood in two ways. Yes, supervision can be understood in two ways. One as an element of directing, and second as a function of the management. It can be understood as an element of directing, like I've written out here, element of directing, and as a function performed by supervision in the organization hierarchy. There was a question in the board where supervision was asked as a separate function apart from planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. Supervision is also one of the functions when you look at it from the broader perspective. So starting as an element of directing, we have just discussed, like as an element of directing, it talks about overseeing people at work, because in an organization people are performing tasks, someone is required to check them, to monitor them, to know what is to be done. So every manager in the organization supervises his or her subordinates. Supervision can be understood, so every manager, what does he do? He supervises. Supervision can be understood as the process of guiding the efforts, okay, you're guiding the efforts of the employees and other resources to accomplish the desired objectives. It means overseeing what is being done by the subordinates. This is what I told you just now, and giving instruction and ensuring optimum utilization of resources and achievement of work targets. Exactly. These other things are inclusive. Basically, as an element, it means nothing else but overseeing people at work. Now, when function to be performed, we talk about, see, I just now told you planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. These are the functions, of course. But then what about staffing? What about supervision? How supervision is one of the function? Why? Because once you plan, organize, staff, direct, you control, who is going to check you? The supervisor. So controlling part is done by none other than the supervisor. That is why supervision is one of the function of management. Our managerial position in the organization hierarchy. So we come to here with the hierarchy, top, middle and lower level, right? At the operative level, that is immediately above the worker. The functions and performance of supervisor are vital to any organization, because he is indirectly related with the workers, whereas the other managers have no direct touch with the bottom level workers. Exactly the same. Who's going to check the workers? So when we talk about the hierarchy, suppose if I am talking about this person as the top level personnel and he has a subordinate out here, okay, this is a middle level operative, and then we go down to the next level and this is the lower level supervisor. So what is he going to do? Who is going to check these people who are performing the work? This work is done by him and he is the supervisor in the organization. So he does this kind of work. Exactly the same. This is nothing else but being controlling function performed. So in order to remember that how is it a function to be performed? It is like controlling function to be performed, and who will perform that controlling function? Supervisor. So when he will check the actual workforce, that can only happen if supervisor is there. That's how you're going to learn. As an element, you won't forget because the same as definition, but as a function, there could be a confusion. So always remember it is to do with controlling. Then there's a question with supervision. The post of supervisor should be abolished from the hierarchy of management. Answer is, this is totally, in case if it comes out as comment, so the answer would be, this statement is not correct. Why? Because supervisor is very vital to any organization. He is in direct contact with the workers and he performs the following functions, and that's how you're going to explain it. That's all we have in supervision. I hope supervision is clear to you. We'll start with the next video, motivation, very soon. Bye-bye.